My name's Emily, or you might know me as Spellbound Blue. I am an illustrator, and I'm also a massive fan of Dungeons and Dragons. I've been playing D&D 5e for about 2.5 years now, and I've been DMing for most of that. I started to notice that I had a bit of a hard time creating NPCs off the bat, just like making an interesting character that didn't feel tropey or repetitive, especially after a couple years of DMing with the same group. I decided that I would make my own deck of NPCs, and I actually did a little bit of research beforehand, and I could not find anything like this. So that's when I started my journey and decided to create my own deck. It was definitely a bit of an evolution. I wasn't always planning on making a printed deck that I would share with the world, but I am really proud of the results and I'm super excited to show it to you. So let's look. So here it is. I'll show you close up. And these are 60 individual character headshots as well as 9 blank cards. So if you want to add your own, you can. And here they are. I have here the name, and I have a list of role-playing cues for the DM just to quickly pick up the character when you just like need to come up with something unique on the spot. I tried to include things, sometimes they're physical descriptions, most of the time they're more personality and how you would play them in front of your players. I tried to make them as useful as possible, but I really had a limited amount of space, so I kept it to 3 traits for each character, as well as you can look at the portrait itself for some clues. On the top here we have 3 different symbols. Some of them have 3, some of them only have 1, but I did 3 maximum. Each symbol represents where they would be or what kind of an NPC they are. Like some of them are shop owners. I have a symbol key here. Should keep it easy to keep track of them, but for instance, let's see, Marion Moonstone. She would be in the village or the town. She might be a traveler, and she possesses knowledge and information. So Marion Moonstone, she is enticing, cryptic, and speaks in a staid whisper. So if I were to play Marion, I would just quickly look at this and then hopefully be able to just pick up something quickly. So her character is kind of loosely based around like a seer or a traveling mystic, and I really try to just convey that as much as I can with my limited words and the images. I specifically wanted this deck to be focused around characters that you might meet in a town or around a town. Some of them are like more forest dwelling, but you would meet them near town, or they might be going into town to do something. These are mostly normal people. There's a few that are more adventurous types, but most are going to be shopkeepers or children, some gamblers. I have a few other adventurers. And you might notice that I didn't actually specify any D&D 5e races on the card itself. I wanted to leave that more up to the DM. Not all settings are the same, and the beauty of D&D is really the flexibility of it. I kind of gave you some clues, like I really enjoy halflings and gnomes having very large round ears, and elves, pretty obvious. And how do you use them? So let's say that you walk into a shop and your DM wants to come up with a shopkeeper that is a little bit more interesting. They can take a quick look at the symbols that I include, and I have some that are specifically marked as what I imagine as shopkeepers. Of course, you don't have to go by this. Anybody could be a shopkeeper if you really want them to be, but I'm going to go with my system. So here I have chosen Zalira. She is a shopkeeper. She possesses knowledge and information, and she is spiritual or religious. Now, you can kind of tell from her face that she maybe is a little bit on the I don't know, crazy side. I kind of imagine her being maybe a vampire, but that could be up to the DM. So Zalira, she is excited, very forward, and knowledgeable. So you, as a player, could walk in and your DM would quickly be able to step into the shoes of Zalira. What's next? Another option is you could choose a card at random, and you can have a player choose a card if they're specifically interacting with somebody, or you, the DM, could choose a card yourself. So this time I've got Alram Sawyer. He is trustworthy, robust, and practical. So from there, the DM can use those cues to quickly decide what kind of personality Alram has and how he's going to play this character. They are all actually hand painted. These are the originals. So this is all of the original art that I used and scanned in here. I did all of the frames that you can see, I painted them. I did actually do some digital editing on this one. So this wasn't the final, but I did use the frame. This is the frame for all of the characters. These are the dots that I used to make the symbols with, and the frame for the inside. And then I have all of these paintings. These are done on Arches hot press watercolor paper. I did it on a 7 by 10 inch block, and I actually just cut each page in half. And I would usually do 4 at a time. Almost 9 months of doing these, but I did take a pretty big break in the middle. This was the first card I ever did, what started the whole project. Ooh, this one's really big. I drew this one on a live stream. So I think this stack is actually really cool and impressive. Ooh, there's some textures that I used for, this was the texture I used for the final cover. I'm also selling digital copies, which can be really nice if you are playing online. I know a lot of us are playing online right now. The digital version also includes a printable PDF, and both the printed deck and the digital deck can be found on my website, spellboundblue.com. I'm so incredibly excited about how it came out, and I hope that you check it out. So yeah, how do I end a video? Bye. Hopefully that is good. I'm gonna have to just redo this whole thing. Oh, okay. As we know from Wheel of Time, you don't trust a skinny innkeeper. So, Varadi Bentz. He's charming, entrepreneurial. Charming, entrepreneurial. Fuck. Why is that word so hard? I can't use this card. So this is all the originals, and I'm really proud of this. I'm probably going to keep these forever and just like look at them. They're my children.